what we have seen with a lot of these researches that I was quoting in the previous slide is that there is definitely evidence that yoga is beneficial in reducing body weight and body mass index, which is basically the indicator of how much is the proportion of the height and weight. We have seen that there is a better hormonal status. Now, this is attributed to a couple of things. Definitely contributing body weight change is going to be one of the things. But second thing is, like I was talking, the stress levels, the psychology level, where you're trying to reduce the stress, is going to have a better hormonal status in the body. So it's not only insulin. We talk of what is called as the leptin, ghrelin, adiponectin, cortisol. So there are several of these chemicals, thyroid levels. So a lot of these levels normalize when we are doing yoga. One of the colleagues of mine who did her PhD in yoga for PCOS could demonstrate that yoga can actually reverse the cystic changes that happen in the ovaries. And that is again attributed to a better hormonal status. Okay. Of course, yoga is going to help in bringing balance in the lipid profiles and the blood sugar levels. There is again a number of studies which is going to show that. Like I was talking, the PCOS, we definitely have studies which demonstrate the efficacy of yoga. Hypothyroidism, another major problem that we see today. A huge number of people have hypothyroid, and again yoga can be very beneficial in hypothyroid as well. And one of the key mechanisms is going to be reducing the psychological stress. One thing is, it would depend on what kind of health problem is associated with metabolic syndrome, and the yoga regime might differ slightly for different people. Say you have high blood pressure, then the yoga practices should be targeting that first. Essentially, we need to reduce weight, that is the baseline, but you cannot have very fast dynamic practices when you have high blood pressure. So you will have to contour the yoga practices based on what kind of health problems are there associated. But if it is somebody with just obesity and diabetes and no high blood pressure, which is rare because people generally have things together, then you can undergo dynamic practices. You can have a lot of quick practices like Surya Namaskaras or a lot of asanas. But I would personally recommend a lot of pranayama. My own research for my doctoral work had been on pranayama, and I know how profoundly just modifying your breathing can impact your whole system. And therefore, very simple thing could be just deep abdominal breathing. I think we would be working on a full-fledged session on pranayama sometime soon with Naresh Doc. So we would be able to talk more there. But simple deep abdominal breathing or alternate nostril breathing, the Nadi Shuddhi pranayama. So those things are going to be extremely beneficial. When it comes to managing the mind, it is going to be the meditation and relaxation techniques like Yoga Nidra are going to be extremely useful in managing the metabolic syndrome. So what I would say is, please choose to go to a qualified yoga trainer. Let them evaluate what is good for you and what is not, and then you start doing yoga practices. Just don't YouTube yoga for something and start looking at that and start doing it. That will not be the right approach.